Hi, my name's Kelly and you're watching That Smells Divine. In today's video, we're doing episode 2 of the 7 sample series, which is my way of making my way through my giant collection of samples, decants, and full bottles, and giving you my honest opinion on each and every single one of them. So today in episode 2, I will be reviewing 7 different samples and letting you know if I think that they are full bottle worthy or not. Today is pretty Initio heavy. As you may know, I'm pretty obsessed with the Initio house, and I've just been trying to get my hands on like as many samples as I possibly can. Before we get started with today's video, if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell to receive notifications of future videos, and let's dive right in. Okay, starting off at number 1, and by the way, this list is not ranked in any way. I will rank them in order at the very end. But starting out at number 1, we have Initio's Magnetic Blend 7, which I got from Scent Split. This, all I could see was that the note, like the only note that was listed was musk. So let's go ahead and give this a sniff. I will say, out of all the Initios, Initio, the Magnetic Blends seem to be my least favorite, and I don't think I'm alone with that sentiment. Yeah, so this is just like, to me it's just boring. Literally just smells like musk. I'm guessing that maybe this would be a good one for like layering. But it literally just smells like a skin scent musk. Like, yeah, like even as far as musk go, this just is just not a favorite. I don't know, it's just kind of blah. Which I can't believe I'm saying something negative about an Initio perfume, but here you go, it's happening. Okay, coming in at number 2, we have SKYLAR Amber Muse. I got this in my SKYLAR subscription when I was subscribed. SKYLAR Amber Muse has top notes of apple blossom, marigold, and coconut milk, middle notes of saffron flower, white peony, and jasmine petals, and base notes of sandalwood, ambroxan, and Nutella. This is definitely one of my favorites from SKYLAR. I'm not a huge SKYLAR fan. I've mentioned this before, but I feel like I love what they're doing. I love that they're using clean ingredients and that they're, I believe, vegan and cruelty-free. Like, they're obviously trying to do things really consciously, which I love. And I love that they're like, they've got a subscription service and they're not super expensive. Like, I love what they're doing. But to me, the fragrances all smell kind of similar. And they all smell kind of sugary, and I think that's because they use like a sugar alcohol instead of like a regular fragrance. But this is actually gorgeous. I love this one. This is definitely my favorite out of all the scents that I got. I think I did the subscription for like a year, so I probably have like 12 total. But right off the top, you can smell the apple blossom. It's nice and fresh. It's not too appley. I hate the note of apple in my fragrances, but this is like a really nice kind of floral apple. You definitely smell the marigold is probably the most strong at the top. And then the coconut milk just kind of rounds it out. In the middle, the saffron flower, I can definitely smell, which is probably why I love this fragrance so much, because I absolutely love saffron. Like, it smells so good to me. It's like such like a sweet rubbery smell. I don't know, it sounds weird, but yeah, definitely picking up the saffron flower. Well, maybe I'm getting the peony as well, actually. Yep, I can smell the peony and the jasmine petals. Everything's very well balanced. There's not one thing that's kind of jumping out more than the others. Actually, I would say saffron's a little bit more of like a heavy hitter than the other notes in this. And then the base notes of sandalwood, ambroxan, and Nutella. I will say, because I've worn this a bunch, the dry down is very Nutella. It's a very like smooth, creamy, ambery, warm, but it has that kind of like slightly floral edge to it, so it's not like a gourmand. It's absolutely gorgeous. I don't know if you can still buy this. If you can, I highly recommend it, especially if you're an amber fan. I know that they never made it in the spray. It would only be the roll-on, but I bet you could find some on Mercari perhaps. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. Okay, moving on to number 3, we have another Initio Magnetic Blend number 8, also from Scent Split. This one has notes of incense, olibanum, I always have a hard time with that word, and oak moss. And I know that I was intrigued by this because I love, love, love the note of incense. I definitely was one of those people that burnt Nag Champa for like 10 years straight in every apartment I lived in. I love, 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 love incense. So I'm just gonna smother my finger here. And yeah, this is way nicer than number 7. I'm not really familiar with what olibanum is, and I'm still having a difficult time picking out oak moss, although I noticed that when there is oak moss in a fragrance, I tend to like it. But I'll just kind of give you my like amateur explanation of what this is. It smells like the inside of a wood chest, but without it being cedary. It's very like woody and kind of dry, like almost smells sort of like a sauna, like, you know, when you go into like a dry sauna, it kind of smells like that. Yeah, it just has this kind of woodsy, fresh, like the incense is more woody than it is smoky. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of, it sort of smells like you're like in a forest and like somebody just cut down a bunch of trees and you're smelling like these wood chips. It's not my favorite. Again, like I said, the magnetic blend versions I'm just like not super into. They just seem kind of simple compared to the rest of the fragrances in the house. So do I think it's full bottle worthy? No, not really. Okay, moving on to number 4, we have something that I've talked about previously on this channel, and before I flash my bottle, please do not judge me. I don't know what happened to this bottle. I am in need of a new one. As soon as I go to Whole Foods again, I'm gonna purchase one. This is NEMAT Amber. Usually there is like a green and red label around here. Usually the liquid is clear and not like thick and gooey, but nonetheless, it still smells amazing. So NEMAT Amber is just an amber oil. It's a super cheapie. You can pick up at Whole Foods. It used to be $15 a bottle. Now it's $19. This is kind of like a cult favorite. I feel like if you know, you know. It's just straight up amber, but it's the most like, I don't know how to explain it. It's one of those scents that like people are just like, what is that? Like stop what everyone's doing. I need to figure out what this smell is. And that's how it was for me the first time I smelled this. I was working at Well People. This girl came in and she was like perusing the skincare, and I was like, I have to ask you, like, you smell so good. What is that? And she's like, girl, I got it at Whole Foods. It was 15 bucks. I'm like, what? It smells so good. It's kind of like, not soapy, but it kind of has like that clean soapy, but also kind of like amber, obviously ambery, kind of creamy, but sort of like ethereal, like it kind of fluffy. It's just this beautiful fragrance, and the projection is huge. The longevity is huge. Like everything about this fragrance is a 10 out of 10. So is it full bottle worthy? Yes, I already have a full bottle. I will be getting another full bottle. I highly recommend this. This is my most complimented fragrance. I love wearing this while I travel because it's an oil. I don't have many oils in my collection, but oils tend to be less annoying to those around you. So if I'm like gonna be on a plane, which I'm gonna be on a plane tonight, maybe I should wear this. If I'm gonna be on a plane, I'll usually put this on because it's kind of hard to decipher, like, is it a fragrance? Is it someone's just natural smell? Like it's definitely, hey Riker. It's definitely like a cleaner fragrance. Hi, what are you doing? You wanna be on the video? Yeah, and every time I wear this traveling, people literally stop me in the airport and they're like, what is this? So, yeah. NEMAT Amber. Okay, moving on to number 5, we have our third and final Initio fragrance for the day. This is also a sample from Scent Split, and it is called Mystic Experience. That didn't really focus, but that's okay. You don't need to see it anyway. Okay, so Mystic Experience has notes of amber, sandalwood, coffee, musk, and oak moss. And I've only smelled this one time. Riker, come on, go lay down. I'm gonna really load it up here. Okay. Mystic Experience is beautiful. The amber is very like in the front with the coffee. Primarily I'm getting that amber and coffee. A little bit of sandalwood and musk, but kind of just like in the background. This is a very warm, warm coffee, cozy. Like it's like you're sitting in a cafe, you're like all bundled up in a sweater. Yeah, the coffee is actually really prominent. This is a beautiful amber fragrance. If you love ambers, I feel like we're doing a very amber heavy video today actually, which I did not plan. That's really funny actually, now that I'm looking at it. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 that are amber dominant. So Tess, if you watch this video's for you. Yeah, but this is really pretty. This is like, I would recommend this to somebody who really loves coffee scents, but doesn't want something that literally smells like a cup of coffee. You want it to be a little bit more like rounded, because it's got this sweet, like coffee, kind of woodsy, yeah, I can see this on both a man and a woman. Is this full bottle worthy? Yes, I would say if you're into coffee and amber scents, I would definitely recommend a full bottle. Do not blind buy anything from Initio because they are kind of beast mode and they are not cheap. So do yourself a favor and get yourself a sample. Scent Split has samples of Initio. I believe Lucky Scent does as well. I'm sure Twisted Lily does. Yeah, but it's interesting that it's called Mystic Experiences because it does kind of remind me of like, I almost get like a churchy vibe from this, but not in like a incensey way. It just smells, there's something about it that smells spiritual or religious, if that makes any sense. So, would I recommend a full bottle? Like I said, test it first. I probably would not get a full bottle of this just because there are others from the brand, from the house that I really love. So maybe like down the line, I would get a full bottle of this. I do kind of want to wear test it a little bit more first. But like I said, if you're someone who's super into amber and coffee fragrances, this is, I would say a 9 out of 10. I would recommend this. Okay, moving on to number 6. We have Dossier's AMBERY Saffron. And this only has a tiny little bit of juice left, but it's okay because we got another one in the mail yesterday. So Dossier's AMBERY Saffron is a dupe for Baccarat Rouge 540. It has top notes of saffron, orange blossom, middle notes of jasmine, plum, cedar wood, and base notes of oak moss, fir balsam, and amber. And this I'm actually gonna spray. I already have a full bottle of it, so obviously I know that it's full bottle worthy for me. But let's go ahead and review this and I'll give you my thoughts. Okay, so this is probably like a 95% match to MFK Baccarat Rouge 540, MFK BR 540. This is gorgeous. It's pretty identical at the top, although I would say that this is a little bit sweeter. It's a little bit more saffron heavy. Yeah, it's just like a punch of sweet saffron up top. And then it dries down into this kind of like fir balsam amber, just like cozy, delicious, sweet. Yeah, it smells, I know that Ariana Grande Cloud has been called a dupe of Baccarat Rouge as well. And the reason why is because it has that kind of like fluffy, sweet, cocooning kind of candy floss feel to it. But Baccarat Rouge has a little bit more, it's more saffron. So you're getting that kind of like leathery, rubbery thing from the saffron that you can get. I'm also smelling the plum, which I love plum in fragrances. I know a lot of people don't like plum in fragrances. I personally love it. So it's funny, there's a fragrance that I found back in 2015 or 2016 that I wore many decants of, and I would wear it out and people would be like, that is so screechy. People hated it. I looked it up online. I loved it. Like, to me, it was such a mesmerizing scent. I looked it up online and it was very polarizing. And I realized the reason why it was so polarizing is because of the note of plum and saffron combined in the fragrance. And I'm actually including that fragrance in one of my future 7 sample series episodes. And it's funny because when I first smelled Baccarat Rouge, it made me think of that fragrance, and it's because of the plum saffron combo, which I absolutely love. To me, it just smells like so alluring and magnetic, and it's like smoky and leathery and sweet at the same time. It's like this juxtaposition of notes. I love it. If you haven't yet seen my video where I did a side-by-side comparison of Dossier's Ambery Saffron and Baccarat Rouge 540, go watch it. Spoiler alert, basically this, to me, wins out over the original, basically because of the performance, essentially. But also, I just feel like the saffron is a little bit more prominent in this one, which is like kind of the reason why I love it. So yeah, would I recommend this? Absolutely, 1000%. If you like saffron, if you like plum, if you like kind of sweet, smoky fragrances, I think this is a safe blind buy. It's $49 at Dossier. You can always return it. They allow returns, and they donate returns to women's shelters, I believe. So it's a safe blind buy purchase, and they're always running sales and stuff too. So I 10 out of 10 recommend this, even over the original. Okay, moving on to our 7th and final sample for today. This is Eccentric Molecules Molecule Plus Mandarin. This is a sample I got from Lucky Scent. So if you've ever smelled Eccentric Molecules Molecule 1, which to me is like one of the best fragrances ever created, it's literally a single molecule isolated, and it works with your own body chemistry. It's the ISOE Super molecule. They isolate it, and then literally it just interacts with your chemistry, and you just project this incredible, like, it's not even like a scent because you can barely smell it. It's just this thing. I don't even know how to explain it. It's funny, when I worked at Well People, we sold, Molecule 1 was our most popular fragrance that we sold. And we'd end up like having to warn people, hey, if you purchase this fragrance, you might not be able to smell it on yourself, and that's okay. Like, it's totally fine, because other people will be able to smell it on you. Because if we didn't warn people, we had so many people coming back and returning it and saying like they got a bad bottle, and we had to explain to people this is just kind of how it is, you know? This is like definitely up there with the NEMAT Amber as far as like complimented fragrances. I've had people like chase me down in grocery stores and be like, I think I smell something. I think it's coming from you. Is that a fragrance? Like, is that your natural scent? Like, what is that? It's gorgeous. So basically what they did with this series is they took the ISOE Super molecule and then they added an additional note. So they did it with mandarin, iris, and patchouli. I will review all 3 at some point, but today we're focusing on mandarin. I am in love with all 3 of these fragrances with the additional note. I think they're all absolutely beautiful. I'm running out of real estate here on my fingers. Let's see. Yeah, this is gorgeous. I would say that this is maybe my least favorite out of the 3, but it's still really pretty. And it's just that straight up ISOE Super and mandarin. Like, that's it. It's very simple. But if you love Atelier Orange Sanguine and you're living in North America and you're really upset that you can't like just go to Sephora and buy it like you used to be able to, you will really like this. It's very, very similar, less sweet, but it still kind of has that like musky, yeah, it actually smells very similar to Orange Sanguine. Now that maybe I should do a side-by-side because I have Orange Sanguine. I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'll do a side-by-side of this with Orange Sanguine because it's very, very similar. I would highly recommend a full bottle of this if you love Orange Sanguine. I think full bottles retail at like $150, so not too pricey. But yeah, I would definitely say, I would even say this is a safe blind buy if you're a Orange Sanguine fan. Yeah. Okay, so that wraps up our 7 samples. Now to put them in order, I believe I would put at the #1 spot, I would put, ooh, it's tricky. I would put NEMAT Amber at #1. #2, I would put Dossier Ambery Saffron. Number 3, I would put SKYLAR Amber Muse, obviously loving Amber today. At number 4, I would put, ooh, it's tricky. Number 4, I would put Eccentric Molecules, Molecule plus Mandarin. At the number 5 spot, I would put Initio Mystic Experiences. Number 6, I would do Initio Magnetic Blend number 8. And at number 7, I would do Initio Magnetic Blend number 7. And also, I just feel like I need to say this is probably the only video you will ever see of mine where Initio is ranked at the bottom. All right, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, let me know, have you tried any of these? Are you loving them? Do you have any questions about any of the fragrances that I shared today? If you haven't already, please subscribe, give this video a like, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, starting off in number... I'm not sure why anyone would buy this, to be honest. Now that I know how to edit, I can like stop and talk to you.